last fire will rise. The last fire will rise behind those eyes. Black house will rock. Blind boys don't lie. Immortal fear. That voice so clear.
Alright, hello YouTubers. So today we're bringing you a review of a recent horror movie starring John Cusack. It's The Raven, basically based on a lot of the Edgar Allan Poe stories, or kind of the background of the movie.
It's a hit and miss thing.
Yeah.
The story itself is supposed to be what if kind of scenario, and the scenario is what if he suddenly became a detective because someone was killing in the forms of his stories and poems. And now it's up to Edgar Allan Poe himself to go and solve these murders, like a Sherlock Holmes style thing.
So it's based 100% in reality.
Yeah, because it ends with him being drunk on the street. Actually, no, because in real life he actually died of rabies. Not being drunk, so yeah, they even messed up at the ending. But anyway.
You're spoiling it.
Who gives a shit? It's old.
Well, not only that, but the joke there was that everyone knows what happened to him.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. It's like the Bible. Oh, Jesus came back from the grave? Oh, I didn't know that.
So, you know, I saw this movie a few months ago. You just, I think, watched it just
Yeah, good
recently.
old Netflix.
And I barely even remember it, if that's any indication. So you'll have to kind of fill us in, because you saw it the other day.
Yeah, alright, so the thing about me is I saw it as a forgettable movie, and it sucks, because when I saw the advertisements, I was like, it's dark, it's gritty, and it's gothic, but without Tim Burton. At this point, Tim Burton does feel a bit overused, but that's just me. But it seemed unique, a decent kind of unique premises. John Cusack can actually seem interesting if he puts his heart into it. He doesn't seem like wood, like Keanu Reeves. But I go and watch it, and some of the elements were predictable. It was a bit too gory. Not like horror doesn't need gore, but like it felt like it relied on gore to draw people in. And all in all, it's a decent movie, but that's it. It's just decent.
Yeah.
There's nothing that sticks out. There's nothing that was outstanding. No beautiful soundtrack. No amazing characters.
And I would obviously agree, because I barely remember it, and I only saw it like a few months ago.
Living
So, I mean, you can see, and, you know, I wanted to love it, because, you know, it being obviously the whole goth thing, you know, every goth has to love Edgar Allan Poe.
And apparently if you go gothic, you go, oh.
Jazz hands. But, yes, I always have been a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. In fact, the Raven, which they actually, if I recall, didn't have anything to do with the movie, did it? That was the one thing that had nothing to do with the movie.
No, he recites part of the story. There's a raven in the scene that kind of watches from afar. It's symbolism.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Anyway, nonetheless, The Raven had always been my favorite poem. Again, it's like everybody's favorite poem who's, you know, of the goth persuasion. But, so I really wanted to like this, and I happen to really like John Cusack. You know, not in that way, but I happen to like a lot of his films, and just kind of, it was a little pretentious, I'd almost say.
Maybe if Edgar Allan Poe walked around with a boombox, like Can Say Anything.
Don't know that I've seen that.
It's his iconic role in the 80s where he's at a woman's house and he's like, I love you, and then he holds a boombox.
I didn't know that was John Cusack.
Yep,
I've never seen that.
That was his starting role. Fun times.
Wouldn't have kind of been right for Edgar Allan Poe, but...
It turns out to an 80s pop ballad.
So, the ending, I would almost say, was a little predictable at the same time as being cornily unpredictable. Like,
so the story...
Does that make sense? Or?
Yes, but the ending itself, to explain to you people, in real life, he died of rabies. Due to a competing author, it made it seem like, oh, Poe died of alcoholism. He was a drunk, he ended as a drunk. He didn't. But the way the ending of the story goes, spoilers of course, his arch nemesis, they played off as an arch nemesis, like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty, or Doctor Who in The Mask. So they play it off like, I am your superior. We are equal halves kind of thing. No. It's his fanboy who recreates everything. He kills Poe by having Poe drink poison because, oh, I'm going to take my life for another. It's a weird story. And then the villain seems to escape. He goes to England and he gets shot and cue credits. It's predictable.
Yeah. I mean, it was all right. I wouldn't say it was a bad movie, but it was just, like I said. I mean, obviously, I can't remember it barely at all, and I only saw it a few months ago. So I mean, if that's any indication. So if you find it free on Instant Netflix, which for that matter, I believe it's on there now. Go ahead and check it out if you've got nothing else to do. But
pretty much.
Don't waste your money on it.
Indeed.
Cry, little sister. Come to your brother. Yeah. Change